This is what everyone's talking about.
Everything's on the table.
This is what champions come to take. This is what everyone came to see.
And the slam!
No do-overs. No second chances. No more Mr. Nice Guy. This is winner take all. The NBA Finals continue on ABC and the ESPN app.
Hello and welcome to the Morning Five. Hope you're having a great week so far. Thanks for joining us today. I'm your host, Michael Ware, President and CEO of the Center for Christianity and Public Life. Today is Wednesday, June 10th. Let's begin with a passage from Luke 22. And he came out and went, as was his custom, to the Mount of Olives, and the disciples followed him. And when he came to the place, he said to them, "Pray that you may not enter into temptation." And he withdrew from them about a stone's throw and knelt down and prayed, saying, "Father, if you are willing, remove this cup from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but yours be done." And there appeared to him an angel from heaven, strengthening him. And being in agony, he prayed more earnestly. And his sweat became like great drops of blood falling down to the ground. And when he rose from prayer, he came to the disciples and found them sleeping for sorrow. And he said to them, "Why are you sleeping? Rise and pray that you may not enter into temptation." While he was still speaking, there came a crowd, and the man called Judas, one of the 12, was leading them. He drew near to Jesus to kiss him, but Jesus said to him, "Judas, would you betray the Son of Man with a kiss?" And when those who were around him saw what would follow, they said, "Lord, shall we strike with the sword?" And one of them struck the servant of the high priest and cut off his right ear. But Jesus said, "No more of this." And he touched his ear and healed him. May God bless the reading of his word. All right, friends, thank you again for being with us this morning. Let's get right to the news. First up, President Trump announced yesterday that on Monday, overnight, Iranian forces downed an American Apache helicopter near the Strait of Hormuz. The helicopter's 2 American crew members escaped before Iran's military could catch them. They were rescued by a drone boat. The president wrote, "Both are safe and uninjured. Nevertheless, the United States must of necessity respond to this attack." At the time of this recording, the American military was reportedly carrying out a barrage of strikes in Iran in retaliation for the attack on the helicopter, targeting Iranian military installations. Next up, also yesterday, House Republicans approved a $70 billion immigration enforcement bill, sending it to the president's desk for his signature. Every Democrat opposed the bill. It previously passed in the Senate, structured using a budgeting procedural tool that makes it easier to pass legislation in that chamber. The vote comes after repeated funding showdowns with Democrats over immigration enforcement spending. And last for today's quick updates, the National Air and Space Administration announced the astronauts who will fly on its next Artemis mission. The crew includes Andre Douglas and Frank Rubio as mission specialists, Luca Parmitano, who is from the Italian Space Agency, who will serve as the pilot, and Randy Bresnik as commander. The mission is expected to last 2 weeks and will test docking systems in orbit, preparing for later moon landing attempts expected in 2028. Now let's get to our main story. Last night, Maine held hotly anticipated primary elections. Democrats see Maine as one of their best chances to flip a Senate seat because incumbent Senator Susan Collins is the only Republican on the ballot who is defending a seat in a state that did not go for President Trump in 2024. Collins is seeking a 6th term, She ran unopposed in the Republican primary last night and will go on to the general election in November. Democrat Graham Plattner has won his party's nomination to be on the ticket, a nomination that comes with now significant baggage that may make it more difficult for Democrats to unseat Collins. Plattner, a Marine combat veteran and oyster farmer, is running on a progressive populist platform, endorsing universal health care and higher taxes on the rich. He has support from progressive senators, including Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren. His online history of Reddit posts and alleged extramarital interactions with women. These include allegations of violent, controlling behavior. Additionally, Plattner once described himself on Reddit as a communist and psychedelics-taking socialist. He also criticized police in vulgar terms and implied many white Americans are racist as well as stupid. During the campaign, he apologized for those statements, also saying during an interview with CNN that he is, quote, not a communist and, quote, not a socialist. He said, I made comments that I'm not happy about, that I do not agree with. This was a time in my life where I was struggling deeply. Plattner also has had to respond to a tattoo on his chest that looked like a Nazi symbol. He said he covered it up and that he got it while inebriated almost 20 years ago. He has said he didn't know it was related to Nazi symbolism. Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer and his allies tried to boost former two-term Maine Governor Janet Mills in the party's primary instead, but she dropped out after Plattner's support surged. At the time of this recording, Plattner was leading with 75% of the vote. Mills had suspended her campaign, but she was still on the ballot and received around 20% of the vote. Washington Post obtained a copy of a victory speech that Plattner was set to deliver prior to this podcast recording. The speech lays out a Democratic case, Plattner's case against Collins, arguing that she is not truly a moderate voice in Congress. She's bipartisan, it reads, but only when it doesn't matter. She serves Donald Trump. She does not serve us. A spokesperson for Collins, meanwhile, said she is one of the most independent members of the Senate and planned to focus on her own record of delivering results for Maine. While Plattner was considered a couple months ago to be a strong candidate to face Collins, he now looks vulnerable going up against a politician who is well known in Maine, like Susan Collins. Democrats would need to flip 4 seats and defend the seats they already hold to win control of the Senate. The Senate plays an important role in American governance, has the power to reject presidential cabinet and judicial nominations, and it's essential to the advancement of legislation. Democrats are also looking to win Senate seats in Ohio, Michigan, North Carolina, among other states. But it's this race in Maine between Graham Plattner and Susan Collins that could be decisive when it comes to the future of the United States Senate. With that, let's stop there for today and go to the Lord together in prayer. Dear Father, always near us, may your name be treasured and loved. May your rule be completed in us. May your will be done here on earth in just the way it is done in heaven. Give us today the things we need today, and forgive us our sins and impositions on you, as we are forgiving all who in any way offend us. Please don't put us through trials, but deliver us from everything bad, because you are the one in charge, and you have all the power, and the glory too is all yours forever, which is just the way we want it. All right, friends, thank you for joining me today. As always, the Morning 5 is brought to you in partnership with the That Sounds Fun Network, supported by the Center for Christianity and Public Life. If you'd like to learn more about our work at CCPL, you can visit ccpubliclife.org. Hope you have a wonderful Wednesday.